Exercises without an instruction are dangerous. I'm going to talk a little today about why I believe exercise programs very commonly fail. The main reason, I'll get straight to the point, is that exercise only really works when you do it. Exercise professionals, EPs, physios, personal trainers, they all have the same issue that doctors have with their patients to do with medication. So if your patient is not taking their tablets, then there's a problem, and there's exactly the same problem with exercise. If we give you exercises to do and the client doesn't do the exercises, then you get nothing out of it at all. So it becomes a big sort of elephant in the room. And I've met countless people who have had this problem. Quite often they've been given exercises by a slightly overzealous physiotherapist or personal trainer, meaning well, but they've given them maybe exercises that are too hard, too many to do, and the problem is people just don't do the exercise. So what are some of the reasons why exercise is not getting done? Well, I've listed a few there. It's too hard, maybe it's coming in at the wrong level. One huge reason people don't do their exercises is because they do not feel that they own the exercises. They have no ownership over their fitness journey. Now, what do I mean by that? A lot of people have given exercises to do, but they don't necessarily know what those exercises do or how they work. So having a little knowledge about what the exercise itself is targeting as far as the muscles, is it targeting strength? Is it targeting coordination? Is it targeting balance? And with offering a suggestion of how to implement that exercise. Does it have to be done at a certain time of the day? And if so, why? And so it's the why that is so important, I feel, to help people stay compliant with the exercise. Exercise can be quite scary for a lot of people. If you haven't done exercise in many years, or maybe you've never done it or signed up to do exercise in your life, and the first time you're given to do something, it can be very confronting. So having that worry in the back of your mind, am I doing the right thing, can cause people to stop. I follow a lot of professionals around who prescribe exercise, but without explaining properly what's happening, and it can be quite confronting. Exercises without an instruction are dangerous. I've heard it so many times. People get a physiotherapist in to see them and they give them a whole list of exercises, and some of them they can't do very well. Maybe it hurts or they feel really shaky, off balance when they're doing them, and the physio says, oh no, keep going, you've got to keep going. 3, 4, 5, keeps counting. They turn this exercise session into a torture, into a punishment, and that's one of the quickest ways to turn people off up here. And if you're turned off up here, then you're not going to continue at all. So in my opinion, the best way to get somebody on board with exercise is to teach them how the exercises work, which ones to use, and a suggestion of when they can use them. It's a bit like that teach a man to fish fable. Once you understand how exercise works, then you can integrate it into your own life. It's a bit like having a recipe for a cake. Now, most people understand the principles of how to make a cake. You need eggs and butter, and there's a process, isn't there? And the interesting thing is that if you gave the same recipe for a chocolate cake out to 10 people, you would most likely get 10 different cakes back. And that's because everyone understands the principle of how to bake the cake, but now they're using that knowledge, and so they're owning that recipe and they're tweaking it. So they're deciding to put more sugar in or less flour, and so they're tweaking it to make it their own. And this is what I suggest with exercise. Understand what the exercises can do for you and then integrate them into your life. So if you found this tip useful, please head over to my website and download my 5 moves for over 60s.